Hello and welcome to my blog, Brett's blog, here on writingforfreedom.com. If for some reason you've ended up at the blog without having had the chance to look around the site, let me say just briefly that this wasn't a random idea. This wasn't just some idea to decide to share part of my life. I'm actually a very private person, and this is difficult for me. But because of something that happened, I felt very obligated to do two things, and I'll get to those in just a second. But so let me just say, if you have found yourself here without seeing the rest of the site, that in July 2013, I was in the Philippines and I was arrested at a friend's wedding. And that began 825 days of wrongful imprisonment for a crime that never happened. I was not convicted. It took that long to fight my case. And I went all the way up to trial, a very rare event in American history. And then I was very fortunate to win, which is a really rare event in American justice. So, And I say that soberly because being innocent isn't enough, and excuse me, and having the facts on your side isn't enough. The system is stacked against accused, whether you're innocent, guilty, being over prosecuted, whatever the case might be. So I feel very fortunate. Thankfully, in my case, the system got it right, but in many cases, that's just not so. And you can take a look at theinnocenceproject.org. They could use all your support that you have to offer, and you can read up on many cases of people that were wholly innocent of the accusations against them, who spent a lot of time in prison because of the way our system is. So I almost ended up spending a lot of time in prison. Instead, I ended up spending some time in a foreign prison in the Philippines, and then a whole lot of time in a 23-hour lockdown in a jail in Marin County. Going through those experiences, I decided that I wanted to do two things. One, I wanted to write a book, and I did. And the name of that book is 825 Days, The Crime That Never Happened, and How I Survived 27 Months of Imprisonment to Prove It. And you can find that up in the top menu on the homepage under the 825 Days tab. And there's a commercial there, a welcome video, a few paragraphs, and then an invitation to you to subscribe if you want to see videos of my book. And I hope you'll consider that, please. And then the second thing that I decided that I wanted to do was to create this online community as a help for people that are involved in the system, and that's for everybody from victims to people that are innocent like myself, or people that are being over prosecuted, or people that are guilty as well. We all need help and support in life, and I don't feel that it's my role to judge. I just want to help. So that's why we're here. I put a welcome video on the front of the blog, and in there I mentioned that I was going to jump right out of the gate with some foundational posts to build a base for what was to come. And on top of that base, I'm going to introduce you to stories out of my book, concepts that I learned coming out of that. Some of it is kind of sexy and risky and dangerous. Some of it's fun and entertaining. Some of it's serious. Some of it's very complex, legal ideas, legal concepts, motions. I don't know. I'm going to keep sharing as long as people are interested in hearing. But you should expect to be entertained, I hope. You should expect to have a lot of information available, similar to what's on the front of Writing for Freedom now, and you should expect to be educated if you stick around long enough, and so I hope that you would spend some time and get to know us better. So with that, first, let me say foundational posts, and it seemed to me that the first post needed to be a thank you post. So let's get right down to it. The first people that I wanted to thank is a group of people that I can't identify, and the reason, or won't identify, not can't, and the reason for that is because they're private people, and some of them are shy, and they just wouldn't want to be mentioned publicly for as supportive and helpful as they've been, and I want to respect that. So to those people, let me just say thank you from the bottom of my heart. You know, I love you and appreciate you very much, and and whatever role you played in helping me get through the darkest days that I've ever known in my life. You know, your support and love was greatly appreciated, and I'm very, very thankful for you. And I wish that I could say more, but I know you, and I want to honor your privacy, and so that's all I have to say. But thank you. Secondly, I want to go back to the beginning and thank my mom, Sharon. Thanks for giving me the tools to have a good life, and I've had a good life. I've been very fortunate in many ways. I don't, having gone through these 820, it was really longer than that, that the conflicts and the problems started much before the 825 days. But I don't want to throw out many other good times because of this one season that was very scary and very devastating. I've had a great life. I've been fortunate to travel around the world. I went back and got educated and I got a college degree, and I had an entire blue collar career, and I had an entire white collar career, and I don't know, I was just really blessed, and frankly, although I'm not going to get into that here, I was really blessed even through these dark days. You know, after I quit taking my eyes off of myself, and once I learned to survive, I then began to learn to thrive. And you know, you don't really know what you got until you've got nothing left. And when everything's taken away from you, and you're told when to stand and sit and what to do, you really got to look deep in your heart. And the strength to do that, and the fortitude and the ability to do that, I think primarily came from my mom, and I want to thank you for that. I love you very much, and I'm glad that we still even today have the opportunity to give each other a hug and tell each other we love each other, and I love you, and I thank you for that. I'd like to thank my dad too. He's passed away a long time ago, but you know, he was a writer and a book publisher, and he named me after his favorite writer, although the name's not spelled the same. That was a creative thing that was changed later, but not by me. But nonetheless, you know, I never knew if I'd ever write a book, and lo and behold, here I've done that. And so thanks, Dad, for giving me the passion and the desire and the mind to think about how to do it and to get it done. And you were a hard worker. I know we had our disagreements, but I appreciate you and I love you very much. And so I'm sorry you're not here to see this. I miss you, and I hope you're well. Next, I need to thank my brother Scott and his family, my beautiful sister Arlene, sister-in-law, but I call her sister, and their wonderful children, my nephews Kale, Caden, and Grayson. You know, you guys are very special to me. I love you all. Kale, you know, your letters and support and encouragement when I was locked up meant the world to me, and so thank you for that. Caden, I love your heart, and I love to watch you growing up, brother, and I miss you. Every time I get to see you, it just makes me so happy. And Grayson, even though you don't understand this yet, I'm enjoying watching you grow up, and I love you too. So Scott, from me to you and your family, I love you. You know, you're a great guy, and I'm glad that we were fortunate to have had a good relationship long before this. And I'm thankful that you stood by me through this, and I love you very much, so thank you. Next, I want to thank my very dear friend Jeff. You know, really enough can't be said about Jeff, about you. And what I could say, I probably won't say here. I've said it to you already, but just publicly, I wanted to say thank you to you and your beautiful wife, Ruby, Sister Ruby, for being there, you know, for coming and visiting me in the prison in Manila, and for, you know, bringing me things, and for writing to me when I was locked down in Marin County, and for sending me pictures and giving me things that I could use, tokens that I could use to take vacations from that dark cell that I was locked in for those years. you know, how we became fast friends, I don't even know how it happened. It was like bam, you know. I mean, we met, and there you were, and you know, I value every chance we get to spend together, and I look forward to many more years of knowing you, brother. I love you very much, you and your family, Ruby, and I'm looking forward to seeing you soon. So you take care, okay? And I need to say a huge thank you to my beautiful sister from another mother, Tammy. Tammy, I could fill a video telling you thank you for the things that you've done for me, and you know, I love you greatly. And I've never had a sister, I mean a real sister. I call lots of women, well not lots, but you know, I have several women in my life that I call sister. My stepsister, not stepsister, sister-in-law, I call sister, and Sister Ruby I call sister, and a couple other ladies that I have a lot of love and respect for. But if I could have an older sister, it'd be you. And you know, you are my sister, and I love you very much. And you know, thank you for being there through all those years, every single week. Thank you for the stickers and the puppy pictures and the books. Excuse me, the books, and all the great things you did for me. I love you very much. There's a huge heart-shaped box inside my chest, and you know. I'm just so grateful for you, and I look forward to many more years of us enjoying each other's company and knowing each other. So thank you very much, Tammy. I want to segue into my lawyers. I would have put them first, really, and should have put them first, but I was connected with my lawyers through Jeff, and having considered how to say thank you, it just seemed that they ought to fall after Jeff, because I was fortunate enough to get my lawyers because of my relationship with Jeff. Jeff put out the word to some friends of ours in the Southwest, some fellows that like to ride bikes. And for you guys, you know, thank you for coming through for us. I love you guys, and I hope, you know, I hope you're well. And if I'm ever fortunate enough to get out there into the Southwest with Jeff, you know, we'll be meeting up, and the first couple of beers are on me. So you guys take care. But because of your contacts and your support, and because of my friend Jeff, I was able to get hooked up with Jai Gohel out of San Francisco, my first lawyer. He's my LA law lawyer, Mr. Sharp, you know, clean, brilliant, good-looking guy. He took the case and he built the defense, the theory of our defense, and how to take the truth and the facts and how to overcome the DA's misconduct and present a beautiful defense. But it was a white collar case, and when a DA chooses to invent a crime that didn't happen and then label somebody and accuse somebody of these heinous charges, it's going to be complex because there was no crime. He had to invent the crime, and so there was this convoluted story with lots of just stuff that was irrelevant. And Jai brought in Mike Clough, and Mike Clough is from the East Bay, and he's the opposite of Jai. He's the mad scientist kind of lawyer. Think of Christopher Lloyd, I think his name is, from Back to the Future. You know, just a great guy and meticulous and absorbs everything. And he learned more about my job than I think I knew at one point about my job. And you guys together were a seamless team, and you took me all the way through the years of incarceration and up to trial. And then you went into trial and did exactly what you promised, and you showed the world that the DA had no case and that it was a sham, and you guys set me free, and I owe you my life, and I'm very thankful for you, and I hope we don't ever have to do it again. I know I got the greatest lawyers in the world, and I know you guys got my back, but I don't ever want to go through that again. But if I did have to go through it again, you know, it'd be with you guys. So there's many other people I want to thank. There's many other introduce you to them over time. But those are the core people that carried me through the dark days. There are some inmates that I'm going to bring up later that I have a lot of thanks to say to. There are a lot of people I've missed, but it's just strategic. I can only record so much, and I've got some limitations. So those are the core people that stuck by me, and I want to thank you and tell you I love you and appreciate you, and I couldn't have done it without you. And And as long as I live and as long as I have the opportunity to breathe, I'll constantly be telling you thank you, thank you, thank you, from the bottom of my heart and the top of my soul. Okay? So I love you very much, and I hope that at some point you get an opportunity to see this video, and I hope to see you soon. All right, folks. For those of you that aren't in that group, you know, keep your eyes open. That's the first of these foundational 6 or 8 videos. I've got a series of 3 on law enforcement coming up to keep building the base, and then I've got a couple others planned that I'm going to get to real quick. And then once those are laid, then I'm going to start bringing in the issues from the book, some stories from the book, some of the things I learned, and some social topics that are going on the news, things that you might be hearing about in your community or on Facebook or wherever you get your information. And we're just gonna build this story from the ground up, and I'm looking forward to the journey, and I hope you come back and check often and visit us. All right, thank you very much, and have a great day.